We're back. Preston
What's
um,
going on?
just said in last episode he's becoming a problem with his grappling, and yeah, he's adding more
The hardware
hardware.
speaks for itself.
So last time you guys saw him on the show was like 4 months ago, something like that, and he hadn't competed yet. So catch everybody up with what you've been doing.
Since the last episode, been training pretty much exclusively BJJ. I have done 4 tournaments, amassing a record of 15-3, collecting a couple medals along the way. I've pretty much transitioned with no. I have no bodybuilding left. I lift maybe once or twice a week. That's if I'm lucky. Pretty much BJJ full time. It helps me understand the fight game a lot better. Helps me understand his fights and trying to assist Sam as well with his fight career.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that too. Like when we roll now, it's really good. Like the scrambles that we have are pretty insane. And especially like we've all talked about it, Sam needs to work on his wrestling and his grappling in general. So I think, the trio we got here is gonna be putting in a lot of good work. Do you have a win or a tournament win that stands out to you?
No, honestly, everything just feels like business at the end of the day. I'm just there to win or lose, preferably win. No, everything's business.
Tell us a little bit about this belt.
Well, very recently, actually, yesterday, as of recording this, Jiu-Jitsu came to Myrtle Beach, tore it up. I went 7-1, beating everyone in my no gi bracket, losing in my gi bracket, but I still took home the gold medal due to how they run the tournament. It's a points based with submissions being preferred. These two beauties on the end right there is what I got to take home alongside this bad boy.
Hell yeah. So you have the one loss in gi now, and overall you've had the two in no gi. Do you prefer one? Like, what do you think your style suits better?
Definitely Nogi. Nogi is just much more exciting coming from the little wrestling background I have. It coincides with that much better. It's much more popular. You have a higher chance of trying to get, a little bit of income from it, and more people watch it.
As far as your opponents come, what do you think is the hardest style for you to face against? Someone who's got also good wrestling, or someone who's like trying to play off their back?
The hardest to deal with is someone with a very impressive guard or very impressive ability to not let someone pass a guard. I can deal with someone wrestling with me because typically they won't have they won't have a good bottom game. They won't have good sweep aversion. I'm pretty good at sweeping people from bottom, but my bottom game is not very good. I'm a super top heavy pressure guy, so you can come at me hard as nails, but I'm just gonna try to hip toss here, just throw you.
Just almost exactly the opposite of how I do my jujitsu. I always like to be on bottom. I feel like I have way more offense from there. And I really need to work on maintaining things like mount, side control. I lose them too quick. So it's almost easier if I just try to fall into submissions and stuff like that. So obviously you like being on top more. You feel like that benefits your game more.
Hmm.
What are the things you're looking for as you're passing someone's guard? Like, what are you trying to get them to react to and lead to a submission?
Try to get them to have super super hard frames, or have them focus on trying to keep my chest or neck or head away from diving into them. Is that I can focus on legs, trying to get my knees through. Try to get a I can try to get a Nelson. I can try to get underhook, something to just keep me tight to them, so I can just inch my way over. I'm very good at staying close, tight, squeezing people, makes them very uncomfortable. And again, people like me that like the top game, if they're on bottom getting squeezed, they hate it. They spaz out, they make mistakes, and just easy pickings from there.
Yeah, I noticed a few of the guys you've fought against when you're just breaking them down and constantly having them in trouble, they start to almost panic wrestle or try to explode up, and they end up giving their back or something like that. Or like you said with those like hard frames, they've given you their arm a couple of times too. So I definitely see that. When I'm fighting off my back, I'm looking for anything I can latch onto, and I try to chain my submissions together. But when I have someone with like really good top pressure, kind of like how you're describing, it makes it hard for me to cinch anything up, and it almost forces me to get up. So
You're very, very good at getting up and sweeping, though. It's
yeah,
super impressive. Holding you down, you're one of the most difficult people. Even though you're significantly smaller, it's incredibly difficult to keep you down in a position for longer than 5 seconds.
I think one of the things that helps me do that too is even if I can't get my submissions off, it gives me the opening to get back to my feet, because if you don't defend them, then I will get it. So that's kind of how I play that game. If I'm getting smashed, I use my submissions to try to pop back up.
Well, a huge benefit when you're doing just jujitsu, you're not worried about getting punched in the face.
That's true.
You're probably 100% more relaxed. You're like, okay, whatever. Not getting hit in the face, or there's no chance of me getting hit. I can just solely focus on getting out.
Funny enough, though, also when people are trying to hit you, I do think a lot of shit opens up. If you look at my last match, last week I fought at 125, the Jonathan Bellamy fight. I went for an armbar and he was pressing into me. He defended the first one well, and then he tried to tee off with some ground and pound. I was able to swivel and get his arm, and he couldn't defend it because he was committing so much to the strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's benefits and uh, non benefits to getting swung at off your back, but I definitely prefer not getting hit. I do like doing jujitsu only. My face gets to stay pretty at the end of the day, here and there.
Crazy
Um,
enough, I smashed my head against someone's head during training. I had a very large egg on my head. It did not feel good.
Speaking of that, what do you think are like some of the most common tweaks and injuries, like little minor things you got to deal with being a jujitsu athlete?
Your fingers and wrists. My fingers hurt all the time. My wrist always hurts. Feels like it's broken 24/7. I just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I feel that one, especially when I'm trying to frame someone off me and they put all their weight on me. Just the accumulation of damage from going to class every day for months in a row now. You don't use finger tape or anything like that. Do you think that would even help at this point?
Doesn't matter. Too tough, too strong.
All
My
right.
ligaments will catch up eventually.
Yeah, they just got to get stronger.
Tougher.
They got to catch up with your muscles. What are you looking at as far as like competitions coming up?
So we have two more coming up in Myrtle Beach, one in July, one in August. The plan is 100% going to compete at those. There's no reason. It's right in our backyard. There's a third one I'd like to compete in Wilmington, which also takes place in July. If possible, I'd like to go. I've already competed at that exact same venue, the exact same competitor, Fuji actually. So if I can get up there, I'll try to, but it's not my number one priority.
Sweet. You guys probably don't know because I haven't said anything about this. I'm fighting for street beefs in 2 weeks, and then also I want to go back and do more jujitsu competitions because I feel like it's a good, good practice for me and a way to stay active without taking, full contact fights. I'll probably do one of the ones in July, and then I'll have to see what's on the table for August because I am looking at title fights for Donnybrook, and I know there's a card in August. But depending on what we got, I'll probably be at some of those tournaments with you, even if I'm not competing. We'll just get some good footage and
Just to be
yeah,
there,
just hang out.
gotta have the whole team there.
Be a good friend, teammate.
Hoping to finish up August super strong. The goal is to always win out, but we'll finish up August super strong. Me coming home with some more belts, you coming home with the big gold from Donnybrook, and then what takes place after that?
Probably gonna go sit somewhere and enjoy it. We've been busting our ass.
Gonna go to the beach, sip some pina coladas
Something like that.
as men.
A beer. You meant to say a beer.
Yes,
Um,
and just somewhere tropical. Don't care where, but there's a certain place in mind.
After that street beefs fight, we're gonna go to amusement park, Carowinds. I always like to take my fights and try to make a little trip out of it. So currently looking at a trip to Asia, probably start of the fall or end of the summer. Depends what money's looking like and what fights are on the table. But
And if you
looking
have spare
to,
money, please give it to
yeah,
us.
yeah, we are,
Not broke, but we need it more than you need it.
yeah, help us out. But trying to go to the Philippines and Korea. Almost 5 years since I've been over there because I have family in the Philippines and Korea. My mom still lives in Korea actually, and yeah, it'd be cool to go for my birthday or something like that. Definitely. and you've never been to Asia, so yeah,
Surprisingly, you see what these eyes look like, but
yeah.
I'm not.
Which one of us is white and which one's Asian? Couldn't tell you. It's a close one. Yeah, I know you're also looking to go to Latin America sometime too.
Either or, whichever trip comes first and just looks better. I mean, I'm here to have a good time and live.
Yeah, I want to go everywhere and do everything that I can in this life. So
At least 3 times.
3 times over, every country 3 times, and my favorite country's 4 times. Now, yeah, I love traveling. It's always fun doing it with my friends too. Probably get some good footage out there. If I can find gyms and wherever we go, be cool to just pop that up on the YouTube too.
Bust out a couple $1 US bills. They'll let us go anywhere.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I've always loved to shout out Samuel the Carnage Cameron. Great roommate, very dedicated to his job, everything by the book. Standout person.
Yeah, he's a really good guy, and it's been good living with him so far. Obviously, sensational MMA. Still working on the website. By the time this podcast episode comes out, though, should be up and running with merch to buy right on there.
If you're running into any problems on the website, there is a help section where you are able to send in receipts or tickets to get help with it. So please send those in.